This is the hybrid CartMIS, a unique storage system like no one has published yet. It's a complete multi-item sorting storage with hybrid storage slices. You see, all the whitelister based multi-item sorters around are made to be one wide tileable. It will simply make a multi-item sorter and give you a lame chest wall like so. I see two things I don't like with this approach. First of all, storage capacity. Since we're running a multi-item sorter, we want to filter all items contained in one category in the same place. For example, all the useless plants in one slice. But there are just so many plants that you'll likely have items overflow from your slice and go to the overflow storage, which now defeats the purpose of item sorting. Sure, you can split the sorted items into 2 or 3 slices, but I'm not a fan of that. The second issue I see with these chest walls is item buffering. Let's cut this slice down the middle. Now take a look at this. We have a bunch of items sitting in these hoppers at the back, inaccessible to the player.
But Dad, look at this, I can access.
Hell no, shut the f up, that's not accessible. So what's the solution? Well, why stop at making a multi-item sorter? There's plenty of room under it to solve these two problems. Let's start with the storage capacity. How can you compact items more than this? With a shulker box loader. A shulker box can contain 1,728 items, while taking just a single slot of inventory. But now, there are two issues. First of all, I want to access all of my items at all time. And I don't want to reach for a shulker box every time I need a couple items from the slice. So how can we address those two challenges? Let's start with hybrid interfaces. A hybrid storage slice does two things, as the name implies. It has the ability to fill one or many chests before it starts filling up shulker boxes. That sounds like the perfect thing for us. We'll start by filling up these 3 chests of items before we fill shulker boxes. That's gonna let us easily access a bunch of loose items, easy to pick up on the fly, whilst also allowing for a larger quantity of items to be stored in bulk. Now let's address the shulker box loader issue. We need to access our items, so we need an accessible shulker box loader. Luckily for you, accessible shulker box loaders are the only thing I live for. So I made this shulker box loader accessible. It fits very neatly into the floor and it doesn't show a bunch of visible ugly wiring like hoppers. Now in the previous version of this interface, I had people tell me that there were visible droppers and they didn't like that. If you're of the same opinion, check this out. Now you can't complain. Your full shulker boxes will go into the bottommost chest, right here. So to recapitulate, we have 3 chests of items, an accessible shulker box, and a chest full of full shulker boxes. That gives you a little more than a 95,000 items capacity of storage for one slice, as opposed to about 25,000 in a 7 chest high chest wall. Now I know, my slice is 2 blocks tileable instead of 1. But keep watching, you haven't seen everything yet. The box loader is bufferless, meaning no items are kept inaccessible from the player. It also has an overflow protection in case the whole full shulker box's chest is full. Now let's address the items buffering thing I don't like. The hybrid CartMIS buffers items in the hoppers at the back here, while it sorts items. When it's done sorting, however, it has the ability to drain all of the buffered items and send them to the shulker box, where you'll be able to access them very easily. This option can be controlled with a lever in the control room. If you disable the option, your items will be buffered like in a regular storage, so you have the choice. The interface isn't the only place where accessibility has been applied. The whitelister, which is just a filter, is right behind this trapdoor. Flick the trapdoor, and you can set up your filter from within the hall. Just one caveat, if you're using this in 100% vanilla survival, you're gonna have to jump to access the chest. I recommend you use tweakru reach override so you can access it without jumping. I could tell you about how the multi-item sorter work, but it wasn't designed by me. It's Mooney that designed it. I'll therefore let him make his own video for his creation. I'll link it in the video description when his video is out. Apart from sorting your filtered items, the hybrid CartMIS will sort your unstackables you feed it. The empty boxes end up here, and the rest of the unstackables are sent here. In case your chest wall of unstackables is full, the next ones will be sent into this 6-time accessible shulker box loader over here. That box loader also deals with the unsorted items. In the end, all the overflow and unsorted items end up in this chest wall, all compacted in shulk boxes, except for excess empty shulk boxes. These are burnt by safety, so you don't run out of room in the unsorted chest wall. Now, how do we operate this thing? You'll input all the empty shulk boxes for the box loaders right here. But you also want to fill the dispenser inventories of each box loader and pre-place the first box like so. For the input, I made it as easy to use as possible. Just dump everything into this chest. Items, unstackables, shulk boxes full of items, anything. Don't be shy. There are safety features that will handle filter items. In this chest over here, you're going to set up a filter with the same item you used in the whitelisters. That's gonna redirect carts of filter items away from the storage so it doesn't break in case you feed it bad items. And all of these items are sent to unsorted. The fuck? What is this? Where am I? It says here that you should like the video and write a comment if you want to help me out. The fuck was that? We were talking about safety features, so let's keep going with that. The hybrid CartMIS has a smart chunk loading grid that will keep the storage chunk loaded so it never breaks. It's activated both by the player with the help of a player detector and by the storage system while it runs. The hybrid CartMIS also has a good amount of hopper locking. The slices can be 100% hopper locked in fact. In this configuration I made, the chest hull is 100% hopper locked and the shulk boxes hull has one unlocked hopper per side. But that's for a good reason. You see this button? If you input an item in the dropper above the shulk box and press the button, you'll have a manual shulk box ejection. This can be applied to the chest interface as well if you want to. The interface is very customizable. I encourage you to make your own interface based on what you find the most aesthetically pleasing. Here are a few different setups I came up with. As long as you don't power anything with redstone around, you can tweak a fair amount of the floor, the wall, and the ceiling. And with all of that being said, that resumes how the hybrid CartMIS works from the user perspective. But there's still a lot more for me to cover on the engineering side. In a later video, I'll break down all of the different systems involved in the hybrid CartMIS. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Now if you go to the video description, I'll have the download links as well as an unedited overview of how the hybrid CartMIS works if you're interested. I recommend you watch it if you want to use it in survival. Now join my Discord server if you want to improve your redstone skills. Thanks for watching, bye.